Hello my gorgeous peopleini, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and these are your weekly horoscope tarot card readings, and they are for the all 12 signs of the actual zodiac, and they are going to be individually time-stamped, and these weekly readings are going to be in between the 18th and the 24th of April 2022. So this weekly horoscope tarot card forecast is in between the 18th and the 24th of April 2022. And I'm going to start with my gorgeous Aries, my beautiful Aries. I want to say something to you which is going to be quite important indeed. You are about to find out something quite big. You are about to find out something rather important. In fact, how I should have started your reading, my gorgeous Aries, it should have been with actually, oh my God, something is behind the corner. Something so big, something so important, something so significant, something so powerful, something so absolutely amazing is just behind the corner. My gorgeous Aries, keep your hopes up, be optimistic, be positive, because you're about to have a really one of the biggest changes in your lives. I can tell you this most certainly. So my gorgeous Aries, when it comes to the week in between the 18th and the 24th of April 2022, something so important is just behind the corner, and what you're gonna see, what you're gonna become aware of is going to change so much when it comes to your life. And then at the same time, what you're gonna see just behind the corner, what you're gonna become aware of, I have to stress that that in itself is going to be so important, because it's going to bring you ideas, it's going to get you going, it's going to make you feel almost instantly really good about yourself. Why? Because you will know in that instant that what you're working on and what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to kind of achieve in your life, you are going to be able to do this, because you are going to have also at the same time very strong indication that the path that you are currently on is an amazing path, it's a very important path, and it's going to get you quite far in life indeed, towards the direction that you want to go towards. So this is something that is going to feel very kind of powerful when it comes to your feelings, when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your vibration, almost immediately kind of is going to rise at that moment in time. When you see this, you know, the connection is going to be absolutely incredible, and that in itself is going to make you realize something very important. And what is that going to be? That actually, you know, the certain kind of negativities that you had, certain negativities that caused blockages, like with your current path and what you were planning with your future and things like that. Now this is about to be shifted at the same time, which means that on another hand, you need to know that the path that you are currently on, that the things that you're worrying about and thinking about that have been slowing you down for a while now, you're going to do absolutely fine. Just keep going, because at the same time, it's not only about you kind of realizing that the path that you are currently on, you're going to do just well, you're going to be absolutely fine. There is something personal that is going to happen to you, personal that is going to manifest to you, which means that you were like thinking about it so intensely, and thinking about it every single time when you wanted to kind of break through, when you wanted to kind of make the next step, you know, the necessary, powerful, important step in your life when it comes to, like, you know, the future planning. You will always like kind of hold down a little bit. So now this in itself is going to answer a really important question, but it's all going to boil down towards the fact that you're on the right path, and that in itself is going to be directly responsible for the amount of inspiration that you are going to have. It's not only about you like basically just finding out something so important, like in terms of like knowing that you're on the right path and things are going to flow really nicely after this moment in time for you. You just need to keep going. But it's at the same time about the inspiration. It's at the same time about something very specific which is going to come up for you. Something very specific indeed, in terms of the actual very bright prospect. It's about to enter your life. Very bright prospect. Okay, and when I say very bright prospects, this is exactly where this is going to lead to, because that in itself is just basically, it's all going to start like an idea, and then suddenly it's going to take like about a couple of days this week until that idea, you know, you get like a very interesting sign, very interesting premonition, you know, that you are going to have. A very interesting epiphanies are going to happen at around that time as well. So that in itself is going to be enough like to let you know that, you know, something is happening here, something so big. So it's about the bright prospects are about to enter your life, and these bright prospects that I'm talking about, there's so many possibilities that are going to be connected to them, and you will know what this is, because it's all going to start like an idea, and then a couple of days later, this is because you're going to release that amount of negative energy, which is going to allow you to think. I'm not saying that you weren't thinking, but it's going to allow you to break the barrier and to go on the next step, next stage, next dimension, baby, in your life. So this is why this is so important. So it's all about like inspiration, idea, but then again, you pay attention to enthusiasm. Put yourself like a number one. You need to be number one. Take care of yourself. Now it's time to take care of yourself primarily. Allow yourself to go on the next stage. So it's all about like these bursts of inspiration that you're going to have, but it's also it is going to kind of create a little challenging situation where you're going to find yourself like, oh God, you know, I'm going to have to explore this, because it's also to do with an exploration, but exploration, it's part of it. So it's all about the inspiration, enthusiasm, crazy amounts of enthusiasm are going to come to you. This is because every time when you think about something specific, you know, your energy is going to start rising in terms of your own vibration. So it's going to be undeniable. So it's all about the bright prospects which are entering your lives, but it is going to be connected to the actual the feelings of exploration, that it's also kind of going to make you wonder, it's going to make you realize that there is going to be a little path, you know, at around the end of the week, where you're going to become aware of the fact that you're going to need to explore something in order to get where you want to get. But this is all part of it, because your enthusiasm is your power, your enthusiasm is your strength. You know, when your enthusiasm in your own on your side, you're already like a 95% where you should be. So this is something to pay attention to, my gorgeous Aries. There are two very specific paths that are going to manifest for you by the end of this week, two very interesting situations which are also going to kind of become the moment of the really important inspiration, and that inspiration, it's also going to start the process of healing then and there. You will see how everything has been connected, but at the same time, you know, there is going to be a very, very big answer that you're actually going to have this week. Very, very big answer you are going to get this week as well, my gorgeous Aries. And this answer that you're going to get, it's going to be very rewarding, because it's come from your hard work, but it's also at the same time going to make you aware how successful you are when you're balancing many priorities at once, and how powerful you can be. And that in itself, it's not only going to bring you a really big answer this week, and it's also at the same time going to bring this determination and the willpower, because you will know, you will be able to recognize at this moment in time something very specific that you should be paying attention to when it comes to your life. But that particular thing that you're going to recognize about yourself is going to go a long way as well, because what you're going to recognize about yourself, your strength and your power, it's also going to bring you the big recognition later on. So my God, make the most of it, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Taurus. My beautiful Taurinis, this is in between the 18th and the 24th of April 2022. So what I want to say to you, my gorgeous Taurinis, it's the fact that you are actually really going to find out something quite weird. You're going to find out something quite unusual. You're going to find out something quite bizarre actually this week. And what you're going to find out, it's really kind of going to throw you you out of the balance a little bit, but then again, it is not going to surprise you completely. It is to do with the information on the outside. It's to do with the information of the outside of your own spiritual bubble, and what that means, that it's a specific part of your life that affected your life. It has been affecting your life for quite a while now, for quite some times, and it's just like a pretty much so subconsciously you were aware of quite a lot of things. So this week you're gonna kind of like become aware of something quite additional to the certain situation that is going on the outside that hasn't got anything to do with your life, but it did affect your life so much. So this specific situation, information that you're gonna find out, it's not going to like surprise you completely, but it's at the same time gonna help you to prepare a little bit better. And it's all about the preparation for it's going to come in the best possible way, because you will know something, you will see something, you will become aware of something. It's almost like going to become like a very strong premonition at the same time that you're not going to be able to explain, you're not going to be able to talk about it, but it's all about the feelings that are coming deep from within. It is just going to kind of help you to prepare so much better. It's going to help you to kind of change your plans in the best possible way. It's to do with your own uniqueness, but it's also to do with you 100% like trusting yourself, 1,000,000% like trusting yourself, because you are going to do something really wise here. And I can see that you're going to like do something like so important when it comes to things that belong to you, when it comes to things that you are working for, when it comes to things that mean to you so much, when it comes to your life, in general. This is like pretty much so connected to so many different things, but at the same time, you became so wise. What was happening in your life over the last 2 or 3 years, you became ridiculously wise, and in the best possible way, because now you will just really, this is going to make you feel even more wiser. And it's important. Be happy for being who you are. Be happy, because you understand things what some other people don't understand. So it's most certainly a blessing. And sometimes what you're going to realize and understand here, it's just really going to make you think. It's really going to make you wonder. I was sharing this planet with some kind of like a strange creatures, and most certainly we do. But this is the whole new kind of different conversation now. But you will know what I mean, because this is going to come with a very specific flow, and that flow in itself, it's going to confirm to you something very specific. What was on your mind, you were really right, but at the same time, it's going to give you an opportunity to prepare yourself in the best possible way. You're going to be thinking about the experience that you have had over the last 2 or 3 years, and that in itself is going to bring you a powerful reflection in itself. What you're going to do, it's going to be amazing, and it's going to require for you to stand up for yourself. It's going to require for you to stand up your ground, but it's also going to require from you to let yourself, to go really nicely and freely, allow your wings to kind of like let you to fly. And in order to allow your wings to let you go, you just have to trust yourself, and you just have to like really, it's your spiritual job, it's the part of your life, it's a part of your spirituality that you have to come up with yourself, with things by yourself. I'm not saying you're not coming up with things by yourself, but it's all boiling down that it means that you must trust yourself, you must trust your intuition, you have to trust you have to follow, you have to pay attention to your subconscious mind, because it's all coming from your third psychic eye, your pineal gland, and things like that. It's all going to be pretty much so very highlighted when it comes to this week. On one hand, you're going to do something amazing when it comes to protecting what's yours, and protecting like what's yours, like in a financial way, of course. But then on another hand, you really will know exactly what to do in order to avoid this kind of like a devilish energy to come into your life again and take over. Please don't get me wrong. You're not the only sign who were like kind of like really kind of like not struggling with it, but it's like, you were not the only sign who went through this, because every single person went through this. But it's how people respond. Some people respond in the best possible way, but some people don't really respond. Some people don't even kind of like do anything really. So you just have to like a kind of this is all you kind of allowing your essence to take over, but also preventing something to happen what was kind of slowing you down. The bottom line is you will need to learn. You will need not to learn, but you will really pretty much so you will need to you will need to swim against the current. currents. This is very important, my gorgeous Taurinis. You will need to swim against the current, because this week you need to understand that you are going to make a decision, and that decision need to come from you. And at that moment in time, when you make that decision, you're just going to split like this, so nicely and so beautifully. And the decision that you're going to make, it's primarily going to be connected to you. It's all about yourself, and it's all about putting yourself first and thinking about yourself first. This is incredible, because it's almost a couple of days later, you are going to have such a absolutely mind-blowing clarity. And this clarity, it's not only about the mind-blowing clarity, but there is just so much that is going to be confirmed to you, and it's all gonna kind of like help you out, so much, because it's all about getting clarity on what you want and just really moving forward with your life. It's about getting that clarity of what you want by the end of the week and moving on with your life. It's going to allow you to make such an important mind-blowing choice. But the mind-blowing choice that you're gonna make, it's all consisting of you doing things in your own way, you doing things that make sense to you, and that you swimming against the current. It is very important, my gorgeous Taurinis, indeed. And also, you're going to find yourself being very decisive. You're going to find yourself being very focused. You're going to find yourself being very driven, And this is brilliant, because also, on another hand, by the end of the week, you're going to become aware of the certain events, that are going to be beneficial to you, because it's going to help you to your life to move with great speed. And this is exactly what you need to do. And also, there is a kind of like the certain challenge that you're gonna have this week, and the challenge that you're gonna have this week, my gorgeous Taurini, another challenge is basically going to be connected to unexpected changes. And the answer to the unexpected changes is to choose intellectual response, indeed. Okay, this is very important to remember, and also to review your options very carefully. When I say to review your options very carefully, there is something very interesting that you are going to see. There is something very interesting that you're going to find out. There is something very interesting that you're going to become aware of. It's about a reading in between the lines, and not being kind of believe to what you're going to kind of become aware of once you see this. So this is also going to be superb when it comes to your experience at this moment in time, because it's going to help you to even more to kind of like move on with your life when it comes to the future planning as well. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Gemini. My beautiful Geminini, where did you go, my gorgeous Geminini? There you are. My God, you see, it's all about the actual, it's about the specific situation that you are going to become aware of, my gorgeous Geminini. This is brilliant, because it's something that has been driving you absolutely nuts. It's something that has been making you really negative, and it's something that has just been slowing you down like a lot. It is to do with your emotions. It is to do with something that took over, not your life. It sounds like, oh my God, something that took over your life, but something that affected your life like big time. And it is to do with emotions. It's to do with like you kind of thinking a lot about it. Like I've mentioned this before, and it's still going. It's about falling out with someone, but you need to fix this. You need to patch this. You need to see who this is. When I say falling out with someone, it doesn't necessarily be it doesn't have to be like, oh, you had a fight, you had this, you had that. No, baby, no. It could just be like basically maybe little disagreement, or maybe you just like kind of falling out with someone in such a way where you don't kind of see each other for a while, but you were seeing each other so often, but now suddenly you've just lost this communication, but that's been affecting you without you even realizing. So it's all about reconnecting and realizing who do you need to reconnect with. Gemininis, this is my gorgeous Gemini, this is important because that has been kind of draining your energy, and it made your life being a little bit different ever since, which means that it caused all sorts of emotions within you when you became aware of this. And then at the same time, it made you feel like a little bit defensive, and there's this defensiveness took over, but then it becomes thicker and thicker and thicker energy around you, and it's only going to give you more work to do, like later on, if you don't establish on time, like what this is, who this is, and how to deal with this specific situation. So it's either to work on the little disagreement with someone who mean to you so much, or it's either to kind of like see who do you need to reconnect with in your life. It's just so important because it's been draining your energy in a very funny way. And I say funny way because sometimes our energy is drained, and it's basically like it's affecting our way of thinking, it's affecting our way of planning, and it's just like kind of like we don't have as much energy as we would normally have in a normal circumstances. So it's just been draining you so much, so you can't be fully yourself until you see what this is. And this is what emotions do when it comes to like our spirits and guardian angels trying to point to make us aware that there's some people are very special in our lives, and there are lots of different like ways that we can connect or reconnect to these people, but it is just important to acknowledge these people and understand that some people are meant to be part of our spiritual journey, and these are the important people in our lives. And this is why we feel like this. It kind of blocks us down a little bit. It kind of blocks us until we just kind of acknowledge this, working on it, because it becomes the part of our challenge. It becomes the part of your karma, baby. And then this is something that you really have to throw yourself in like a gorgeous Gemini you are, and then you're going to be absolutely fine, because at the beginning of the week you are going to really have this power. I can't even explain this. It's so brilliant. You're going to have this power, you're going to have this ability to actually look that specific situation from a little bit, from a completely different angle. So before that happens, there is going to be a little information that you're going to get hold of, little message that you're going to get hold of, my gorgeous Gemini, and that in itself is going to be playing an important role when it comes to you having this ability to see this from a completely different angle, from a completely upside down angle. And that's absolutely brilliant. Somehow within the first few days this week you will know that this is something that you need to pay attention to, but you will become aware of the fact fully how much was this affecting you, and how much was this draining your energy, and how much this was actually affecting your life in general, my gorgeous Gemini. So that in itself is brilliant. You need to make the most of it. I really hope that you're not gonna kind of waste this situation, because this situation comes like with a very kind of interesting energy that at the same time happens at the time when it's meant to happen, when we can break through this negativity when it comes to you and that other person. So try to see who this is, because within the first few days this week, most certainly you're gonna have the ability to, after you hear this message, this information that I'm talking about, after that moment in time, you're gonna have this ability like all around when it comes to you seeing things upside down, different way around, which is in general going to make you very strong, and it's going to make you aware of your own capacity. Especially when it comes to making an important adjustment. You will know that this is something that you need to nip in. This is something that you need to step through. This is something that you need to step forward when it comes to your life, because it means more to you than you can possibly imagine, and it has affected every single aspect of your life, and it will be affecting every single aspect of your life until you realize that like just do this. And even if you had like a huge massive big murmur, like disagreement with that person, sometimes we can be really kind of smart, and sometimes we're never gonna get on like completely with certain people, or we're never gonna agree with everything. But this is the magic of life. This is the power of this life, because we are all sharing this like earth. We are all sharing this spiritual journey in a one way, but then in another way we are all kind of having our own personal challenges, because it just goes way deeper than that. So this is something that you're really kind of going to become aware of. But most certainly, as soon as you do this, like something is going to shift. because I do see that you are going to have readjustment, you know, and I do see that you're going to become aware of exactly what you're going to need to sacrifice in your life in general in order for this not to happen like later on. And what you're going to need to sacrifice is just like kind of like if you don't get on with someone and that person means to you so much, then you just kind of like maybe change the subject instead of start to argue or having a disagreement or something like that. Or if there is a disagreement, just always make sure that you keep a level with the positivity and optimism when it comes to it, instead of like going, wow, you know, you just, hello my darling, you know, like, yeah, you're absolutely right, yeah, that's fine, you know, and it's just like try to keep it like that. Don't show necessarily how you feel, you know, but try to like kind of gather your own energy, and then that helps you so much to make an important impact in your life. So it's all about realizing that, you know, this is going to become one of the most powerful times of your life, whether you believe this to me or not. It's to do with the readjustment, like a huge, massive, absolutely enormous readjustment, but also realizing this, because at that moment in time, something is going to happen within you, like something is going to happen. And suddenly it's going to increase your energy. It's going to make you feel good about yourself. You're going to find something so interesting about yourself as well. But it is also going to be an absolutely remarkable idea that you're going to have after that moment in time. An idea that you are going to have. It's going to come from this beautiful energy, like from the continuation of this, what I said, this process. But it doesn't really matter whether you're aware of this or not. There is still going to be a really important idea that you are going to have this week, my gorgeous Gemini. This idea is mind-blowing, because this idea, you will know what this is, because you will become aware of almost immediately the fact that as soon as you become aware of this idea, you will know that this is going to bring an ultimate change in your life. But you're going to need to kind of look around you. You're going to need to find out a bit more. You're going to need to kind of inspect a bit more. You're going to need to kind of throw yourself into all sorts of possibilities, especially when it comes in terms of learnings, in terms of finding out, who you are fully, but also at the same time in terms of finding out who you are fully, like through things and aspects that I keep on repeating to you over the certain period of time that they have been repeating for a while. So this is all preparing you for a very, very interesting journey, my gorgeous Gemini. You know, you need to remember that at the same time, you know, there is kind of going to be, oh my God, like you are going to be thinking quite a lot about like taking the next steps, and like kind of like you're going to be thinking about a lot about moving forward, continuing to move forward with your life. By the same time, there are going to be few aspects that are still going to be bringing you down. You can do absolutely everything. You can do absolutely anything, Gemini. You just have to trust yourself. Ignore the negativity, ignore the sadness, ignore the darkness. Put yourself as a number one. This is exactly what you need to do this right now. Try to look for the balance as well when it comes to this week. Maybe try to kind of chill out outside, or like go to sauna or something, like go take care of yourself in a way like where you can kind of rejuvenate yourself in a certain way. Take care of yourself, because this is going to help you out with your own personal balance quite a lot. But then on another hand, you just need to kind of like you're going to be also thinking about taking the next steps. And what you need to do at that moment in time when it comes to thinking about the next steps, I can still see that someone around you is going to have a little bit of negative influence and negative impact on you, okay? So when you're thinking about the next steps, somebody around you very close to you, maybe they don't mean like negative or anything like that, maybe they mean well, but someone is just going to be bringing this negative feeling and negative vibration within you, because every single time you say something, they will try to bring you down. You need to stay on top of that. It is really important. Some people can be very dark in their way of thinking and their thoughts, and they're not even aware of it. And the life has been for a long time like this, but they just need to break through out of that by themselves when the time is right. So you just don't want to kind of end up with this vibration. So someone around you is going to have a bit of like a negative impact on you, but you just, when you are thinking about the next steps, almost you're thinking about the next steps, and you say this to someone, and then the dark Lala says, oh no, you should do this, you should do that. No, baby, no. Okay, you just need to remember to what you're going to be thinking about, what you're going to be focusing on when it comes to the next step. You are going to be able to manifest this. This is going to, not only that you're going to be able to manifest this, but this is also going to bring you a success into your life, and it's going to make you feel so much better about yourself, so much more optimistic about yourself. And if you believe that you can do this, you can do this. Just remember this, my gorgeous Gemini, please. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Cancer. Ooh la la, this week it's going to be very interesting in so many different ways. It's like, oh my god, like, I don't even know what to say, because first of all, there is going to be very important news that you're going to have, and an important news that you're going to have, it's going to be, oh my god, you've been waiting for this for a long time. You wanted this for a long time. You were wanting this for a long time. There is something very specific that you have been wanting, and you were kind of waiting to happen, but at the same time, it's to do with your passion. It's to do with what you're passionate about. It's to do with what makes you feel so good about yourself. It's to do with things that you used to do in the past, but now it's just like going to start happening in the present moment, but it's going to be on the whole new level, on the whole new scale. And this is just so, like, this is the step that you are going to take after this moment in time towards the right direction. And the step that I'm talking about, so first of all, you're going to hear an important message and important news, and you're going to find this so rewarding, because it's going to be so good, it's going to be so brilliant, it's going to put a big smile on your face, because it's going to feel like, oh my god, I've been waiting for this for such a long time. And that in itself, it's going to be remarkable, because in itself it's going to answer a huge question. This is going to answer a huge question when it comes to you, my gorgeous Cancerini. And the question that I'm talking about is just like basically, it's going to, on one hand, this question that I'm talking about, it's like you're going to find this very rewarding again, because it is to do with the reward, that comes from a hard work. And at the same time, it's going to make you aware of the fact how successful you are, and how powerful you are, and how strong you are when you take many things on. You have got this power and this ability, my gorgeous Cancerinis, to balance many things at once. And what's even more interesting, the more things you take on, the more powerful you are going to be. The more things you take on, the more successful you're going to be. The more things you take on, the more inspiring you're going to, the more inspired you're going to be. The more you take on, it's not only about your ability to kind of like do really great, but it's also about, recognizing how, like other things about yourself, other things that you're very unique, about, other things that are very unique to you, that are important to you through all this experience that you're going to have. So it's just about, my gorgeous Cancerini, it's like a big answer that you're going, big answer you're going to have here. Big question is going to be answered. You will know what this is, because it's very, very personal. And just remember, you've been waiting for this for a long time. And, we reach this important moment in our lives that, you must put yourself first. And I know it sounds like selfish. No, it's not. Because if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't put yourself first, how are you going to be able to take care of the people that you want to take care of if you want to take care of someone? How do you want to take care of people, of other people in your life, if you do want to take care of other people if you're in your life? Do you know what I mean? So you must understand that, your energy was drained just a little bit, bless your heart, because you were helping to other people so much. And this always shows how good you are. You are ridiculously good people, very powerful when it comes to your own goodness. You do a lot for other people. But at the same time, you need to understand that this is the time when you really need to put yourself as number one. Because I'm saying this so many times purely because there are other things going to be going on. And you will know that there is something very specific that you will be focusing on. Because in terms of determination and the willpower, this is going to feel very natural to you to recognize that something very specific path, you know, which is going to be the next path for yourself. Very important path. It's going to be recognized through your own determination and willpower. But then at the same time, you know, it is like I can see that, oh no, bless your heart. This is why I said that you're such a beautiful people, because almost immediately there are other things and other like responsibilities. Maybe other people are going to come up and you're going to be like, oh, I can't do this because I have to think about this. No, baby, no. You must understand that this is the part of your challenge, and you must understand that you need to think about your balance. You must understand that you need to think about your energy. It's time for you. It's time for your next step. Other people and other things can come up later on, but now it's time for the next step, my gorgeous Cancerini. So this is what you need to remember. It is very important indeed. So just remember your own determination and willpower. It's all going to be guiding you towards something very specific by the end of the week. In terms of the recognition, you will recognize this. And what you're going to recognize, it's also going to be an integral part of you also like kind of realizing that is just kind of going to bring you really big recognition in aspects and area of your lives where you want to be recognized. So this is really important, my gorgeous Cancerinis, indeed. And you know, you're also going to become, this sounds a bit of a dark lala, but you're going to become aware of maybe certain wrongdoings, like certain negativities and a little bit of darkness and sadness on the outside. Nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your spiritual bubble. Nothing to do with your spiritual bubble. You're fine, but it's to do with the things on the outside that have been affecting like every single one of us, which is completely normal. So you're gonna hear something, and what you're gonna hear, it's gonna really kind of surprise you in a way, but it's not gonna surprise you. It's nothing to do with your life, but it's to do with things that are going on the outside, and you will become aware of some kind of darkness and some kind of wrongdoings and some kind of dishonesty and something that absolutely doesn't make sense. You're going to become aware of the certain double dealings and things like that. I repeat, it's nothing to do with your life, but this is brilliant because it's all going to boil down to, you know what, you becoming aware of like some kind of like a devilish energy on the outside, and this is absolutely brilliant. And that in itself, it's only going to make you that much more wiser, because it's also that moment in time you will know exactly which adjustment do you need to make in your life. This is the time when the powerful you is going to step out and literally take over. Okay, so this is the time when you're going to start swimming against the current, but also it's going to be really beneficial for you because you're going to avoid the darkness, you're going to avoid this devilish energy, which is a brilliant thing to be aware of, to avoid in the first place. But on another hand, it's also going to be really beneficial, not only for the adjustment that you're going to need to make, but at the same time you're going to become aware of like the actual managing, you know, it's all about managing your resources really wisely and things like that, you know. And at the same time, it is just going to kind of help you to open yourself up in terms of being very, very open-minded. After that moment in time when you become aware of what I said that you're going to become aware of on the outside, this is going to be brilliant for you because you will understand to manage your resources really wisely. You will know what I mean. But so you're going to just need to kind of slow down with that aspect of your life right now. But at the same time, it is just really going to make you realize the part of the pictures that you couldn't realize before. And this in itself, it's going to be important in terms of your own progress when it comes to you being very, very open-minded. This is going to make you very open-minded, and once you open your mind, nothing is going to feel the same ever again. Okay, very important, my gorgeous Cancerinis, indeed. Okay, I'm just going to be just 1 second before I do Leo. Okay, so now I'm just going to have a little bit of water before I do Leone. Okay, where are we? Oh no, here we are. Oh my goodness. My gorgeous Leone, I love you so much. This is for you, and it's in between the 18th, sorry, and the 24th of April 2022. My gorgeous Leo, it's like, oh my lord, you know, you're gonna realize something so important here. What you're gonna realize this week is just, my god, it's going to give you an idea just out of the blue. First of all, you're gonna see something at the beginning of the week, and what you're going to see, it's going to give you a mind-blowing idea. This idea is going to be undeniable. When I say undeniable, it's something you should not ignore, something you should not block, something you should not do, because it's all about you understanding that you need to understand that the idea that you are going to have, it is just to do with the finances, financial situation, with your personal security when it comes to finances, with you doing the right thing, with you realizing that not that long ago, again, you took the new step, you took the new journey, you took the new path, and now you were a little bit like kind of, you're not too sure, but now this is going to be proven to you 1,000,000% that what you did is about to change your life. And it's not only about like it's going to change your life, but at the same time you just need to stay on that path. And when we are on an important path, you know, it's not always pretty, it's not always pink, it's not always purple, it's always purple, it's not always gorgeous, you know. There are things that come to us, to our lives, to like, you know, like basically make to create certain challenges, to manifest certain challenges, and the challenges are part of our spiritual journey. So when we have a lot of challenges with a certain aspect in our lives, especially when it comes to like what we are, who we are, what are we doing, what are we trying to achieve in life, you know, you need to understand the more challenges we have, the more remarkable things are going to be later on in our lives, and the more success we are going to have. So now, my gorgeous Leone, it's going to be the idea not only that you're going to become aware of like, oh my god, like, you know, like you did the right thing not that long ago, you started a new path. Maybe this was something like brand new, or maybe this was something additional that you brought into your life, like to kind of play with, you know, to bring into your life. Whatever this was, like, my lord, at the beginning of this week, you will know like 1,000,000% that this is going to be very successful, and it's about to change your life. But even more so, there is an idea, then you're going to see something, then you will see something at the beginning of the week, you will see something like, oh my god, and then suddenly, you know, the idea is going to come to you, like a really remarkable idea. And the idea is going to be connected to like, what else do you need to bring into your life to be even more successful, and what else do you need to do in order to start an important process to you, very sacred process to you when it comes to creating a big change. But this is a big, mama, this is a big change, and I've mentioned this before. It's to do with your home, it's maybe even to do with like either relocation, or either changing like the home completely, or it's maybe to do like doing something really important with a garden, you know, like it's to do with like a really big change, like a massive change that you're working on. But it is 100% connected to your home, big change. So it's either like relocation, or like changing everything, or like working on a garden, you know, whatever it is, you know. This is important because you are also gonna not only have an idea, but it's also about, you know, as soon as you have this idea, there is kind of like a certain clarity that you are going to have. And the clarity that I'm talking about is just also going to make you aware of the fact that very, very soon you're going to need to make an important choice. And the choice that I'm talking about is just like you're going to be presented like you go either 100% this way, or you go like you stay on an old path. So it's all about you just giving as much as you can of yourself to the actual new path, which means that there is something quite specific that you're going to need to learn up about. There is something specific that you're still gonna need to work on, my gorgeous Leonis, you know, in terms of the actual learning, what you're gonna need to learn about learning, and which aspects of your life you're gonna need to learn about. This is gonna become evident at around the midweek. Please respond to this angel's calling, please respond to the spiritual messages and signs that you're going to have around you, which are going to you, which is going to come to you in terms of like you know, an aspect of your life, it's going to become evident for you to kind of read up about. Now suddenly you're going to have this urge like to learn a little bit more, and it's brilliant, and it's absolutely perfect time for you to do so at this moment in time, because what you're gonna also kind of like this specific subject or this specific situation that you will kind of feel very drawn to learn about, you know, this is also going to be connected to an important revelation. And that revelation that I'm talking about, it's on one hand going to help you to make an important choice, but then on another hand, it's going to help you out so much with a specific aspect of your life that was making you to kind of like over analyzing, and then when we over analyze the specific parts of our lives, then it just kind of takes our energy because it affects our balance. So it's just pretty much so knowing, you know, using this clarity, which is going to help you to make the right choice as well, my gorgeous Leonis, indeed. And what else I was going to say, just this is brilliant, you know, it's all about this week you're gonna kind of revive, you're gonna feel revived, you're gonna feel rejuvenated, and the reason why is because things are gonna start moving on when it comes to the plans that have been kind of stuck for a while, when it comes to the plans that have been stuck for a while that made you feel a little bit sad. Now this is gonna start moving on, and it's gonna be brilliant for you because it's just all about the actual accomplishment that you're going to become aware of. The things that you have been working on over the last 24 months are also going to be playing an important role here, purely because you will just really know that now by the end of this week your life it's about to change. Your life is about to have an ultimate change, but you have been waiting for this for a long time, and now your time is coming. On one hand, you are going to get an important answer here, but then on another hand, you know, it's just like, don't forget how important is to basically pay attention to details throughout this week, because there are going to be signs everywhere. But at the same time, don't forget this aspect of you learning about a certain subject or about a certain career at around the midweek. This is an integral part of your spiritual journey that is going to push you even further in terms of you understanding the very vibrant energy which is waiting for you just behind the corner. This is going to help you with your own connection, but it's also going to help you to kind of like become aware of an amazing opportunity by the end of the week. You're also going to have an amazing opportunity at the end of the week, my gorgeous Leonis. This is going to it's going to inspire you, but at the same time you need to understand to be bold, courageous, and to be as optimistic as you possibly can. Now is the time to take actions, and it's all about you doing what you are passionate about. The more you focus on those things that you are passionate about, the more successful you're going to be. The more you focus on the things that you are passionate about throughout this week, this is going to start bringing very healing energy into your life, which is going to be beneficial more than anything, not for your health in general, but also in terms of the actual inspiration, in terms of clarity, in terms of understanding things that you didn't understand before on your spiritual path, you know, because now you just simply will reach the point in your life where you will have absolutely enough. And this at this moment is brilliant, because at the same time, just remember that throughout this week, be as direct as much as you can. Be as direct as much as you can. You are going to come across some unusual people with a very strong energy yet again. So you just have to really be aware of the fact that you need to put your foot down. You need to put your point across. But it would be absolutely remarkable to be as open, as direct as you possibly can. Because there are going to be some opportunities and some things going to be happening and going on throughout this week that happen only once every now and then. So it's just, and to get the most of it, it's you must be yourself 1000%. Do not hold yourself back for a second, for a split second, okay? You just be as direct as you possibly can, which means that those people that you're gonna come across this week, you know, they are gonna have a very strong energy, and this is going to give you chance and power to respond in the best possible way. And that way you get the most of it, and that way karmically you do the right thing. Okay, my gorgeous Leonis, this is important. So now, before I do my gorgeous Virgolini, I'm just gonna have a little bit of water. So now, sorry, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Virgo, my beautiful Virgolini. This is in between the 18th and the 24th of April 2022. Where did you go, my gorgeous Virgolini? It's like, oh my God, there is something, you know, something was on your mind for a while, and something was really kind of bothering you, and something was really make you think, something really made you think, and something really kind of made you question things around your life, and something really made you question things like on a broad, you know, aspects, you know, on a, when it comes to the broad aspect, you know, of your life on the outside, like things that haven't got anything to do with you. This is all going to be contributing towards this specific moment in time, my gorgeous Virgolini. Something is going to be on your mind at the beginning of this week. And what is going to be on your mind? First of all, you will kind of like think about things that you've been through, things that are going on around, and there is something else that you're going to hear, another information which is going to open your eyes, but it's also going to make you aware of the fact that very soon you're going to be able to make a really, really important choice. But when it comes to that choice, you are also going to need to remember to be very brave, to be very bright. You need to remember to be very brave. You need to remember to trust yourself. You need to remember to follow your intuition, but you also need to remember that this is going to come with a challenge in itself, because for some reason you will think it's not the right time. It's not the right time. Well, this week is going to change everything, especially in terms of timing, because you will realize that something, you know, a very, very specific aspect of your life, it's already starting to unfold. It's already starting to happen. You're already halfway there. So my gorgeous Virgolini, you need to remember that you need to give a credit to yourself when the credit is due. You can keep going and keep going and keep going, but do not forget to take care of yourself. Do not forget to take care of your balance. Do not forget to take care of your own creativity, because if you don't take care of your, if you don't protect your creativity, then this is just really going to start to affect your balance. So you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your you have to take care of yourself. You have to protect your creativity, you know. This is very, very important indeed. And also on another hand, my gorgeous Virgolini, is just like pay attention to the actual idea. First of all, you're going to have this realization. What you're going to realize is going to be mind-blowing in so many different ways, because as I said, there is an important answer that you are going to have, but also in itself, that answer, the big answer that you are going to have here, is just going to bring you determination. It's going to bring you very strong willpower, but it's also at the same time going to help you realize that you are going to get recognized with this part of your life, what you're working on, what you're trying to do, and what you're trying to achieve. You're going to get recognized by the people that you want to get recognized by, and that in itself is going to like really put you on that path, on the journey, and you're going to skip over so many stages that you could have kind of find yourself at, you know, struggling through. So this is absolutely brilliant. This in itself, it's really going to help you out so much, because suddenly you will be able to connect to yourself from a very high angle, and that in itself is going to open you up in terms of the actual determination and the willpower. What you're going to recognize is going to be brilliant, because it's on another hand going to make you feel very courageous and very optimistic as well. It's all about you feeling it's the right time. And it's all about you feeling very, very brave, my gorgeous Virgolini, to actually go to the next step of your life. This is fantastic, because at the same time, you know, it's gonna be connected to revelation that you will have at around the end of the week. And revelation that you're going to have is just really gonna help you out so much in such a way where you're gonna become aware of an unwise choice. Something is gonna be offered to you at around the end of the week, and also at the same time when that's offered to you, you are really really kind of going to have at around a similar time, you're going to have this revelation which is going to make you aware that, you know, you don't want this. You know, it's a very, very unwise choice, and this in itself is going to lead towards a different path and a different journey, where you will know and realize at this moment in time that there is a better way that will actually make you happier. So you must also remember, as much as you can, my gorgeous Virgolini, this week, to avoid people who lack integrity or who have a really questionable motives as well. This is something that you should avoid, and this is something that you should not waste your energy with throughout this week whatsoever. And what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Virgolini, you know, it's all about it's honestly, it's a certain information, certain news that you are going to have on things that you have been working on, in terms of the actual accomplishment, in terms of the actual success. You know, you have been working really hard, you have been doing so much, you have been like really so much was going on and happening in your life over the last 24 months in particular, but there haven't been enough like kind of like not necessarily success, but the things got kind of stuck a little bit and just didn't make sense at this moment in time. You would have thought that you would have been on a different level, you would have thought that you would have had more success, you would have thought like you kind of like more things would happen, but now that in itself, it's really showing your own willpower, and that in itself is really showing how strong you are and how powerful you are. And it's also going to show you that you have been working on your karma, you have been working on something very specific for quite a while now, and that is slowly coming to an end. So in itself, there is a very specific message that you are going to have through somebody who's been quite consistent in your life. There is a message that they're going to give you, and they're going to make you kind of praise you about something about yourself. And this praise is such a big mama, because this praise is really going to come up from the right person at the right moment in time. And this praise is going to highlight something very unique about yourself, something that you have been working on, something that you are so amazing about, something that you achieved, something that is so unique about yourself, but you've just kind of, with so many other things, you almost ignore that part, you know. So someone who's very consistent in your life, it's going to get through. It's going to get in touch with you, and it's going to really help you to come out of yourself at the moment that you should come out of yourself, through things that you have done. And it's going to be highlighted through someone very special in your life, someone very consistent in your life. And they're going to tell you, like, you know, they're going to pinpoint something that you've done, something that you worked on, or something that you're working on. And you're going to feel still like, oh God, you know, I'm not too sure. You're going to blame something yourself for something. And then that consistent person is going to pinpoint, look, you're so clever, you're so smart, you're so intelligent, you're so unique, you're so special. Just keep going, keep being your brilliant self. Come out of yourself. Be as open-minded as you can. You are incredible. You're different to every single sign of zodiac in so many different ways in terms of spirituality and everything else. You have got a whole package. You're very powerful, but sometimes you just dive too deep. Sometimes you're too serious. Sometimes you take things too seriously. And then when you take things too seriously, you forget about your own balance. And when you forget about your own balance, your energy can be wasted, and then you don't give 100%. And then you have to like stumble upon this particular situation in order to see how powerful you are. And that in itself should tell you so much about like an important people in our lives, how they make us feel when they say certain things, and how much of an impact that can actually have on our lives, my gorgeous Virgolini. So somebody very special is going to highlight the certain power around you, and that is just going to be that last little job that is going to get you going like there is no tomorrow, because almost immediately you are really going to start feeling so much better about yourself. This is going to inspire you, but it's also going to make you think, you know, that there is a revelation, what is going to be revealed after that moment in time. You really will kind of like have a whole new path kind of highlighted for you. Not brand new path, but it's like in terms of adjustments, you know, you will know that there is something that is going to change in priorities. This is all about the change in priorities, so it doesn't really matter. You're on the right path, so it's all absolutely fine. But then on another hand, it's all about this path which is going to be highlighted at around the end of the week, and it's gonna like kind of on one hand it's gonna make you realize that the things are gonna take just a little tiny bit longer, but that's absolutely fine. But most importantly, the way you're gonna feel, how you want to explore, how you suddenly you want to throw yourself towards the part of your life that would make you feel like a little bit uncomfortable maybe, but now you're just gonna feel that all this time you have been prepared for just that. So my gorgeous Virgolini, this is gonna be big, this is gonna be huge, this is gonna be brilliant, and also by the end of the week you are gonna start becoming aware of the specific journey that you're going to need to make, a specific journey you're gonna need to make, whether this is gonna be slightly further, a little bit further from where you are, or maybe it's going to be like a nearby village, or maybe it's going to be like a journey that you're going to go on the plane, on the train, in the car, it doesn't matter. But for some reason there is a very strong indication of the certain journey that is going to be connected to all this. So there is some kind of journey that you're going to need to make in order to finalize things, my gorgeous Virgolini. So this is going to be really important indeed. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Libra. My gorgeous Libra, I love you so much. So much, I love you so much. Listen, my gorgeous Libra, I'm seeing this again, you know, it's like, oh my god, a bit of an emotional time this week, you know. I'm like, this is not the first time and I'm seeing this, and my gorgeous Libra, I'm seeing that, you know, listen, it needs to get worse in order to get better. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to get worse in order to get better. Or shall I say, like, in every good there is a bad, in every bad there is a good. Yin yang, of course. But you know what? I'm saying this because, well, there is something that you were planning for the last 3 months, like pretty much so. There was something that was on your mind for the last 3 months, and there is a specific information that you're going to have, news, and you're not going to like it. And it's like, please, I'm being a dark lala, but it's not going to end up as being as dark lala, so it doesn't really matter. Just remember, in every good there is a bad, in every bad there is a good, la 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 la. It's the way the world is, the way the life is, you know. If this life was absolutely perfect, it would be really boring. Or if this life was absolutely, if everything was always great and excellent, then it would just not be right, because, you know, this is what the life is. Our spirit comes out in terms of our own spirituality, the way we respond to things in a kind of unusual and weird and bizarre situations, which are also called challenges. So this is all part of our journey. So it's something that, as the more we open up to this, the better it's going to be, the more we're going to realize, the more we're going to understand, the more we're going to absorb spiritually in terms of our subconscious mind, you know, and our own conscious understanding. So now, my gorgeous Libra, you know, something that you've been thinking about over the last 3 months, that was like you were really focusing on, you wanted to make this happen, you were like, yeah, you know, that's brilliant. And then the news that you're going to have, the information that you're going to have, you're going to see that, you know, maybe this is not the right thing for you to do. Maybe you will want to kind of like really kind of like, it's something is going to happen, the news and information, and it's going to make you think like, oh God. Almost immediately you're going to limit yourself, and almost immediately you're going to feel a little bit heartbroken, a little bit sad, and a little bit negative, like, oh no, because, you know, this specific aspect, something that really made you feel so good about yourself, you really wanted this to happen, you wanted to make this to work, you know, but it's not working. So over the last 3 months this was really draining your energy, and the sooner you realize what this is, the sooner you can let this go, because as soon as you realize what this is, you are going to start a process of healing, because that specific situation is coming to an end. So something that was on your mind over the last 3 months that you have been working on, thinking about, you will see that the information and message that you're going to have, it's going to make you realize, you know, that there is no point to waste your energy anymore. But then this is it, you know, this life is the way, it's also a lot about us recognizing and realizing at the right moment in time, at a specific moment in time, what we're going to do next. Are we going to keep on draining our energy? Are we going to start something new? If we are going to keep on draining our energy, then that means that we still haven't learned a specific lesson, so it's not good, yeah. But if we kind of realize, you know what, this is enough, of this, I'm going to move on. And this is absolutely brilliant. So that means that you worked on your karma. That means that you worked on your energy. That means that this is what you need to do when it comes to your spiritual journey. So you have learned your karma, and you are going to allow this energy to literally go away. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Libra, so what I was going to say, so you will see that this is brilliant because you're going to release this. So when you get this information and message where you're going to realize, you know, this specific aspect of your life, it's not going to happen, and that doesn't matter, because there is something else that you're going to learn out of this. Not only you're going to be able to move on, but also this experience that you're going to have, it's connected to an important lesson that you will not want to repeat ever again, which is already enough sign of a sign that you've learned your lesson. But also at the same time, it's about an important revelation, which is going to also like kind of like point out something kind of like a certain choice that most certainly you shouldn't go for, and you should avoid like for the rest of your life. So this is why, because you've learned your lesson, so it's important. So something that was on your mind a lot, that you have been focusing on over the last 3 months. So on one hand, it was making you feel really good about yourself, but then on another hand, it was just took out so much of your energy. So you will know what this is, because it affected your movement, your energetic movement. And that means that, you know, you were kind of focusing too intensely on this, but then at the same time it is just kind of like prevented you to focus on other things in life. But you know what is really brilliant, my gorgeous Libra, that, you know, you have been through so much, and I'm not even like gonna lie or whatever. Yeah, you've been through so much here, like through really a lot over the last like about a year. You have been affected so much. There was a lot on your mind, and you were kind of like a little bit negative every now and then. You were down every now and then, and every single time when you would want to plan about something, or every single time when you feel optimistic, you know, very quickly there is a negativity takes over, and then that delicious like a positive energy very, very quickly go. But it's all about the illusion from the outside trying to take over your life. But you are the one who's going to allow this. You're the one who's going to decide what you're going to do with your life. You're the one who's going to decide about your own spirituality. You're the one who's going to like really follow your own light. You know, no one else can think for you. You must think for yourself. You have to think for yourself. You're extremely ridiculously intelligent. You're very powerful when it comes to your subconscious mind, but you're also very powerful when it comes to your own manifestation process. So you can manifest things really easily, but at the same time you can also bring yourself down very easily with exactly the same energy. So it's all about the balance, but the manipulation of the energy at the exact time in our lives. So you have been quite negative because, you know, I can see that your plans got affected, and because, you know, your plans got affected that are really important to you, and this affected you so much, my gorgeous Libra. So this is something I want to say, that this stage and the period is like hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Raise your vibration, my gorgeous Libra. You need to do this. You have to do this. You must do this. You know why? Because this negative stage and the negative period is finally, hallelujah, coming to an end, my gorgeous Libra. You know, it has been like 10 to 12. The last 10 to 12 months have been so hard and so difficult, because every single time, without even realizing, when you were planning about something, you're thinking about the next step, you're thinking about your life, you know, you just take so many different aspects in without even realizing that have got nothing to do with you, but have been affecting your life so much, and that in itself made you feel negative, made you feel down over the last 10 to 12 months. So now this is about to change. This is absolutely brilliant, because it's all at the same time. It's gonna kind of like, you you are going to become aware of an amazing opportunity. This is absolutely brilliant, my gorgeous Libra. So first of all, you know, this stage that was really draining your energy slowly coming to an end, so it doesn't really matter. So it's all going to start happening and changing from the beginning of this week when you get this message and information, you know, that you should just kind of move on. You should just kind of focus on other things, and that in itself is going to open you up, it's going to open your mind, and it's also bringing you an important clarity into your life, and an important clarity is going to help you to make a choice. Why? Because you're going to become aware of an amazing opportunity by the end of this week. An amazing opportunity that you're going to become aware of. You will know what this is, because almost immediately you're going to feel very courageous, very strong, and very bold, and very excited, and very optimistic, you know, and you will know that it's time to take action. And it's to do with things that you are passionate about. It's to do with you carrying with your life. It's to do with you living your life, but also it's to do with you giving a credit to yourself when the credit is due, my gorgeous Libra. This is very important indeed. You know, it's by the end of this week, it's all about you becoming aware of this amazing opportunity, but also, you know, taking the next steps. And you will know the next steps are also going to be consisting of you revisiting old plans as well. So when you become aware of the next steps by the end of the week, that they're also going to have a very strong connection with revisiting old plans, okay? And this also, it's going to make you aware that there are certain people that are going to kind of start entering your life in terms of like maybe partnering with other peoples who share like the same opinion as you, but also on another hand, it's all boiled down to one particular thing. You know, it's about expanding your plans and continuing to move forward, my gorgeous Libra, no matter what. Okay, so now the next sign is going to be my gorgeous Scorpione. I'll have a little bit of water. I'm sure there was Cressida here. Let me see, Cressida, are you here? No. Probably it was a little spirit cat making a noise. It was a little spirit cat. 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 It was a little spirit cat, my gorgeous Scorpione. You've got a little spirit cat little song. So now, my gorgeous Scorpione, this is, ooh la la, this is in between the actual 18th and the 24th of April 2022. Scorpione, you have got like some kind of like a very strange situation happening, very strange situation going on, and I really like it because it's going to be weird, it's going to be strange, it's going to be bizarre. You're again going to realize how connected you are to the spirit world, how connected you are to the spirituality, how connected you are to all sorts of different dimensions. I absolutely love it, and it's going to happen again, my gorgeous Scorpione, at around like very late at night this week, very late at night. You are gonna have a very unusual moment, but before you have the unusual moment, you are somehow going to see the moon. You're somehow beforehand going to become aware of the moon, and it's going to be at night, it's going to be in the evening. So whether you're going to be in like the window like, oh my god, look at that moon, or whether you're going to be lying on your bed and then you can see like maybe you got one of those posh windows, you know, like up here, like hello, you know, like maybe you can see the sky, you know, and then maybe you will be seeing moon that way. However it's actually going to happen, you are, it's quite soft, this one is, yeah, however it's going to happen, it's basically going to make you feel like you are, you know, you're going to see the moon first. And before, my point is, at some point this week, sorry, I just go like a train, like a locomotive, you know. So this week, in between the 18th and the 24th of April, I'm going to try to slow down, okay? This week, in between the 18th and the 24th of April, my gorgeous Scorpioni, you're going to see the moon, like in the evening. And when I say that you're going to see the moon, yeah, you see the moon every night, every day, yeah, most likely. But I'm just saying that, you know, you suddenly, this is going to catch your attention, the moon. So whether you're going to be in the garden, then suddenly you're going to feel this strong connection, like suddenly you're going to see the moon. When you see the moon, it's just going to take your attention. It's going to be impossible. It's going to be like kind of, it's going to be screaming like, look at me, look at me. And then suddenly you're going to notice this moon. You're going to pay attention to this moon. And there is something, whether you're going to be in the garden, whether you're going to be in the window, wherever you are, this is going to be in the evening. You're going to notice suddenly something, there's going to be an urge to look at the moon. And then something is going to be so unusual about it. Something is going to be so strange about it. It's either around it, it's going to be like something very kind of unusual, or on the actual moon there is going to be like kind of very unusual shape that you're going to become aware of. Or in itself, when you look at the moon, you're also going to have a very strong, you're going to feel very strong vibration, and you're going to feel very strong connection when that happens. And my point is that not that long after that moment in time, when you notice the moon, and you may not even notice the moon, you will still see this, you will still go through this, there is going to be another very unusual situation that is going to take place. And the situation that is going to happen within your home, and you can be prepared as much as you can wait for it as much as you can, but it's still going to happen when you least expect it. You're going to become aware of some kind of a presence around you. Please, please, please do not get scared, do not get paranoid, because when you become aware of that presence around you this week, you have to remember this, please. This is your blessing, the ability to understand that there is so much beyond this world. There is so much beyond this dimension. There is so much when it comes to this world as well, like worlds. But anyway, there is so much to do this world as well. But, you know, it is just at that moment in time, I need you to understand, my gorgeous Scorpione, that, you know, you are going to be like, you're going to become aware of someone around you. And the bottom line is that spirit that you're going to become aware of, it's going to happen like not that long after you see this moon. So you're going to see the moon, and this is going to be a preparation for a very strong connection with the moon. And this is going to be a sign that very soon after that moment in time, you are going to come across the certain spirit, which is going to be either in your home, or it's either going to be in your garden, or maybe it's going to be in your car. You know, however it's going to happen, you're going to feel a very strong presence around you. But at the same time, you need to remember that this is to do with your own connection with the different dimensions. Do not be scared, do not be paranoid, because this spirit is carrying a very important message to you. There are two messages. One message is you have to really understand and realize who needs help in your life. There is someone very close to you that needs help, and you need to help them, and this is important. And this spirit, you will know what the message is, and you will know who this person is, because maybe you will smell certain, like a person that kind of like a passed away. Maybe you will smell like a certain perfume. You will maybe be able to tell who the spirit is, and that in itself, if the spirit is connected to you, then that in itself is also going to reveal the certain person almost immediately that you should be paying attention to, because someone is struggling, and this message is sacred. And if this is not the spirit that you know, it doesn't matter if it's the spirit that you know or not. You will know if it is the spirit you know. But if it's spirit that you don't know, it still doesn't matter, because it's still gonna kind of like almost at that moment in time when you become aware of the certain presence, you know, you will know that, you know, someone is gonna come to your mind. A certain vulnerable person needs your help, and it's my God, it's like the matter of like, it's so important that it's almost like the matter of life and death. Like, I don't want to sound like Dark Lala, but when Dark Lala comes out, she comes out and she just stays. She freezes, you know. But I don't want to sound like a Dark Lala, but it's like the matter of the life and death. And this is almost immediate. This is going to come to you. It's going to be pinpointed. You will know who this is. And even if you're not aware of it, who this is, like, oh my God, the spirit is trying to let me know I need to help to some other person. And even if you don't know almost immediately who that is, it's going to come to you within like the next few minutes, within the next couple of hours. Suddenly something is going to happen after that moment in time, and you will know that who exactly needs a little bit of your help. And then on another hand, another message that this spirit is actually going to bring you, that you are going to have a really important opportunity. This is, again, listen, it goes with the power of the actual balance. When we pay attention to balance, when things happen at a certain time. So when you see that spirit, you also need to understand that what is on your mind. Almost immediately you need to also reflect and think what was on your mind when you became aware of that spirit, because that moment in time, that second, that split second, when you become aware of the certain vibration and certain energy, that split second, it's connected to your mind, to your energy, to your way of thinking, to your way of planning, but most importantly, what you're slowing yourself down, what you're blocking yourself. Release the blockage, because what you're blocking yourself at that moment in time, it's going to be revealed like something like ooh la la, something easy and simple. Where you're blocking yourself, you are the one who is blocking yourself, no one else. Release it, baby. This is what the spirit is telling you, to release it. It's important. You're very smart, you're very clever. That's what you remind me of, a cat. That's what you remind me of, a cat. You're very clever, you're very smart, you're very intelligent in so many different ways. You will know what I mean. And that in itself, it's going to give you an instant idea, my gorgeous Scorpione, indeed. But on another hand, what else I was going to say this week, my gorgeous Scorpione, this is absolutely brilliant. There is a very good news that you are going to have. I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited for you. The good news that you are going to have, it's almost going to make you feel like you want to celebrate, because you will know that a very difficult and unusual and uncertain time is slowly coming to an end. This is brilliant, because it's all about the conclusion, but it's also all about you feeling almost immediate, like very inspired, very artistic. This is going to mean to you so much, but it's also going to highlight the part of your life that you should pay attention to, and you should live your life towards that part of your life that is going to be highlighted, which means 1,000,000% you do things in your own way, because at the same time you'll see how you burnt yourself just a little bit, because you trusted the people and entities that were way too devilish to trust. But then again, go with the flow, because lots of other 5 billion creatures go with the flow, and then you're like, okay, flow, but now this is going to be highlighted, so you will know exactly what am I talking about. So this is brilliant, my gorgeous Scorpione. Not only that you are going to have a remarkable conclusion with an ongoing problem that was really kind of draining your energy, but this is to do with the second step, with the next stage in your life. It is just basically you becoming aware of something very specific that you need to find out more about. This is going to reveal the part of your life that makes you feel vavavoommish, that makes you feel good, but at the same time it's going to reveal the actual the part of your life that you need to learn about as much as you possibly can. So it's going to reveal the part of your life that you need to learn as much as you can, but also it's to do with a certain subject or a career, but also paying attention to detail is going to be really important as well throughout this week, because you're going to find something on the floor. You're going to find something so unusual, so weird, and that in itself, it's also going to give you really interesting idea. Pay attention to what is on the floor, my gorgeous Scorpione, because even this is going to happen this week when you least expected. But going back about, it's all about learning as much as you can about a certain subject here, because that in itself is going to really bring you so much of the security and the financial success into your life, my gorgeous Scorpione. Try to throw yourself into as much as you can into this in terms of the actual learning, and you will know, because you're gonna have a sudden urge to learn, sudden urge to read up about something. So now that is going to really start inspiring you in so many little different very special ways. But by the time the end of the week manifests, you will feel very strongly about a certain part of your life that you want to learn so much about. This in itself, it's not only, oh yeah, you should be doing this. No, baby, no. This is something that is going to bring you security. What kind of security? Financial, big mama, financial security. It's going to make you feel very solid and very strong in the future. So just remember that. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Sagittarius. Falling in love again. My gorgeous Sagittarius. Where are you? My gorgeous Sagittarini. Where are you? Where are you? Dun 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 dun. Do you know what, my gorgeous Sagittarini? Like, let me tell you something. Where is it? Here. My gorgeous Sagittarini, there is some kind of very, very important message coming to you at the beginning of this week. This message that is coming to you at the beginning of the week is just so brilliant, because at the same time, it's something that you waited for a while, something that you waited for quite a long time now, and it's just going to start making so much clear to you. Because now suddenly when you get this information and when you get this message, this is going to be strongly connected to your life, but at the same time, it's just something that you were waiting and expected, but you're going to be surprised what else is actually going to be revealed. At the same time, you're going to find out other little aspects which are going to be connected to this information and connected to this path. And in terms of like kind of getting somewhere where you want to get, that through your own experience, you reach this moment in time. Through your own karma, you reach this moment in time. So it's not only about a really brilliant information and message, but it's at the same time about realizing like, oh my God, this is gonna give you so many other options, like with your current situation. It's gonna bring you other options with your current path. It's gonna bring you other wonderful options with your current opportunities. You know, this is brilliant, and it's only going to be good because it's going to open you up really nicely at the time when you wanted to be up. Sorry, you're gonna open you up really nicely at the time when you need to be open, like a spiritually and open-minded as you possibly can. The more open-minded you are at this time in your life, the more powerful you're going to be and the more successful you're going to be, because we're all having a double challenges, and the double challenges that we're all having, you know, at the moment is really consisting of the challenge that we normally have, but the other challenge is just like basically giving a power to yourself by standing firmly on the ground and ignoring things that don't make sense, ignoring the devil and ignoring the darkness on the outside. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean by that, what do I mean by that? You just need to make sure that you actually stay centered and to actually stay grounded by doing things that only make sense to you. This is how you preserve your power. This is how you preserve your strength, my gorgeous Sagittarini. So it's basically about you getting an important information, and once you get this information at the beginning of the week, there is a lot that is going to become clear to you, but most importantly, you're going to find out other interesting paths how to get where you want to get, but also, you know, it is just going to open up a very attractive part of your near future, and this is all coming down, and this is all happening through your own accomplishments. So this is something really big here and really vibrant, because it's going to open you up, it's going to open your mind up, it's going to confirm what exactly you should be doing, it's going to confirm the path exactly you should be on, you should be following, you should be going through, no matter what you're told, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening. This is your job, this is your spirituality, this is how you live your life. Do not ever give your spirit away again. Don't ever give your energy away again. You will know what I mean when this happens. So it's all about you moving on with your life life and finding out different aspects that are about to be uncovered for you when it comes to the immediate future. And this is going to be very, very delicious part of your life, because it is going to make you feel so good about yourself. You will know exactly what you need to kind of like learn more about. At the same time, you're going to become aware of like a very, very amazing opportunity. But before that opportunity kind of manifests in your life, there are 3 different stages that you need to pay attention to. There are 3 different things that you need to pay attention to in terms of how to actually get there. So it's all about an important plan for the future planning you are going to have, my gorgeous Sagittarini. Very important plan when it comes to the future planning. But now the difference is, I'm not saying you didn't have plans before. It's because the way things are going to happen from the beginning of the week. Just remember that information that I said. It's not only about you opening up spiritually, opening yourself like in terms of like being very open-minded. No, baby, no. It's about you realizing that, you know, oh my God, it's more like to do with the parts of the accomplishments, but also very delicious parts of the near future that are just gonna start, that are gonna seem so much closer than to you, what you previously thought. So something is actually going to speed up the process for you, important process when it comes to your progress. So this is the very sacred energy that not only is going to help you to keep going, but it's going to help you to grow the wings and just fly over and get where you want to get so much quicker with the power of your intuition and by you giving credit to yourself. Okay, so it's all about an important plan when it comes to your future, purely not just any plan, but because things happen the way they happen from the beginning. You see, now you're already kind of like 10 steps ahead. So this is absolutely brilliant. So an important future plan, it's going to really kind of like on your mind, and that's exactly what you're going to be thinking about. But a quite strong aspect of this is also you revisiting an old plan. There is a certain old plan that you're going to need to revisit in order to continue to move forward. At around the midweek, you know, there is something that is going to be on your mind quite a lot, but you will feel a strong connection to your childhood and to things that you used to do. Something is just going to be undeniable. Something is missing in your life now that you just kind of left in the past, and that in itself is going to be an important and integral essence when it comes to you continuing to move forward. You will know that you revisiting an old plan is going to be just as important when it comes to the actual taking the next steps and like continuing to move forward in your life. Okay. And also, you know, I really like this because you're going to receive such a wise advice, my gorgeous Sagittarian. This is another thing I was going to say. You are going to receive an absolutely mind-blowing wise advice. You need to remember to remain objective and fair-minded, but at the same time, do you know the communication this week? It's like absolutely everything. I don't really care what's going on, what will be going on in your life this week, because it's going to be quite busy a lot. And I say I don't care purely because what you need to remember, not that I don't care, but what you need to remember is to actually you need to communicate clearly. Direct communication is a must. You putting your points across, it's like, oh my God, you talking like as much as you possibly can this week. This is your moment. This is your time. This is what you need to remember. Don't waste your energy with people who don't mean anything to you, but most certainly do kind of like do kind of like express yourself, do put your foot down, do communicate, be as direct as you possibly can, especially with those people who intimidate you so much, because those bastards, those people who intimidate you so much are the worst, because they tend to kind of steal our energy and tamper with our own power, so we kind of like really lose our real balance, and then they kind of intimidate us and make us feel really negative, and then we don't respond the way we should respond. So especially remember this: if you're around the people that are kind of intimidating, but there are some kind of barrier, like you need to talk to them or you need to explain something to them, just give 1000%. This is very important, to not to hold anything back, but at the same time to try to resolve any issues in the best possible way, as being open-minded as you possibly can. Very important indeed, okay? So just remember that you are gonna receive an absolutely mind-blowing, very, very wise advice by the end of the week. You will know what this advice is, and you will know who this advice is by, or who this advice is from. So on another hand, you know, remain objective and fair-minded, at the same time communicate as clearly as you can. Put your point across, okay? It is very important for you to remember, and at the same time, you know, it's just all about you coming out of yourself and respond to the situations around you in the best possible way through the actual, direct communication. Okay, so now the next sign is going to be my gorgeous Capricornians. Where are you, my darling? Oh, okay. My gorgeous Capricornians, just 1 second. If you touch me, you'll understand what happiness. My gorgeous Capricornians, yes, it's you. Helicopter. I can hear a helicopter. What are they up to? Ta-da-na-na. What are they up to? What are they up to? What are you up to? What are you up to? What are they up to? Do-do-do-do. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, Capricornians, this is in between the 18th and the 24th of April 2022, and it's for you, my gorgeous Capricornians. I love you so much. Do you know why? Because you've been through so a lot. You've been through a lot. You've been so, like, kind of, your balance was affected. Bless your heart, because without you even realizing what was happening over the last 6 or 7 months in particular, you were really thinking about lots of other people, apart from thinking about yourself. When I say that you were thinking about lots of other people, you were just very selflessly just giving your emotions and your love away to those people who mean to you the most. And I'm talking about the real people in your life. I'm talking about people who you love the most. I'm talking about your real friends. I'm talking about your family members and things like that. But I'm also talking about what a beautiful people you are, because very often you tend to, like, put other people first, like, before you put yourself, but you don't even realize this. You weren't even aware of this. Bless your heart. Mwah. My gorgeous Capricorns, I love you. So this is why, you know, your energy was drained even more. But when people do this, you know, people reach a very significant stage of their lives when this comes slowly to an end, when they're selflessly giving their energy and love and emotions away in terms of just taking care of people that are most important in your life. But as I said, with luck, of course, if you have a family, you do this. But then sometimes you even take this role on without even realizing, without necessarily being aware of it. So this is like a double whammy in terms of the actual karma and in terms of the actual effect, spiritual effect that you are going to have later on in response to that. Just remember that, you know, it's the energy that we are creating, and as long as the energy is positive, as long as the energy is happy, as long as the energy is good, you know, it's just like basically this is all going to get back to you 10,000 times, 10 million times. And what I'm saying, what I'm talking about right now, my gorgeous Capricornians, that there is a very, very big message you are going to have. This week is going to have start with a really big and really important message, and that message is really going to, on one hand, open your eyes. It's going to give you an important clarity, but it's at the same time going to be connected to an important, a big answer that you are going to get here, and this is going to be really personal to you in so many different ways, you know, and that it's almost immediately going to give you determination, willpower, self-esteem towards an aspect of your life, towards the path that you should be on, towards the path that you should be really kind of like placing yourself on right now and stay there for the rest of your life. This is very, very important, because at the same time it's going to surprise you, only in terms of the actual not synchronicity, but in terms of the actual priorities. You know, I know that the little priorities are going to change, but that doesn't matter. Sometimes you have to, like, kind of, my gorgeous Capricornians, like, kind of understand that certain plans can fall through just a little bit, but not like they're gonna completely disappear. No, baby, no. But it's more about the actual priorities. You're gonna realize by the middle of the week that exactly what aspect of your life is changing a little bit. It's something that to do with your near future, what you were planning, you know, it's to do with a certain plan, but at the same time you're gonna need to kind of change things. You're gonna realize that the plan is going to stay the same, not the same, the plan, this is the same plan, kind of the same outcome, but the things are gonna change how you're gonna get there. In terms of priorities, you're just gonna kind of realize that you're gonna have to do things different way around, the other way around. So, you know, this is something that you're gonna need to understand, and the other way around, it's only because this is something that you will have to do in order to protect yourself, and in order to protect things that are yours, in order to protect things that belongs to you, and things like that, you know, now and in the future. This will be big. So it's all about staying on the same path, but just realizing that, oh God, you know, you're just gonna have to do things the other way around in order to kind of like you know, with this path, and that is going to become evident by the end of this week indeed. But now, going back to the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Capricornians, it's a very brilliant conclusion. I like it so much, and this is the karma result. What I started this reading with, you know, is this conclusion. This conclusion is coming from somewhere else. This conclusion is just going to help you to fall in love with life again. This conclusion is also going to kind of start process of bringing some really big mamas into your life when it comes to important people, which means that this is going to be connected to different aspects of your life in terms of the new dimensions, which means that this is also going to start the process of you really having a remarkable choice and opportunity by the end of the week as well. And it's all going to start with this conclusion that you're going to become aware of. This is brilliant. It's to do with a very annoying part of your life, very kind of that was slowing you down, and it's going to, in turn, this conclusion, it's going to almost immediately, you will know what this is, because this part of your life was really on your mind the last 4 months quite a lot. But also how you will know what this is, this conclusion is going to be connected to compromise. So you will know, like, oh my God, there is going to need to be compromise that you will not want to kind of do, because it's going to require to have a reconnection with somebody not really nice. But then, you know, sometimes we have to deal with these people in our lives because you need to put a foot down. So it's all about you having a compromise and becoming aware of the actual compromise, but you must understand that it's connected to somebody who you don't really like, but you must put your foot down as well, because it needs to come from you and no one else. So this is an integral part of something that you should do, because again, spiritually, this is going to reward you. So it's all about the conclusion that you're going to have, that you will know that this is going to be connected to the actual compromise not that long after that, and that is going to inspire you, and it's even going to make you feel really artistic. That is going to give you food for thoughts, but you're also going to learn something very specific about yourself. You're going to realize something specific about yourself, which is going to open you up even more, but it's going to make you kind of to explore the very kind of the particular part of your your life that you would not think that it would be time to explore it just now, but through your own optimism and confidence, you will know what this is. On another hand, you know, my gorgeous Capricornians, you're gonna see something this week. My God, you're so clever, because what you're gonna see, it's gonna really happen at a time when you're like kind of like it's gonna just happen completely out of the blue. Maybe you will be like in the middle of the forest, maybe you'll be like in the middle of the city, but there is somewhere that you're gonna be at around the midweek that you did not expect, you did not plan whatsoever. So it's gonna happen completely out of the blue. You will see something, and what you're gonna see, it's really kind of gonna, oh my God, it's gonna be a little bit like a kind of mind-blowing moment, because it's really going to surprise you. But then at the same time, it's gonna make you aware, and it's gonna make you realize how precious life is, how powerful life is, how unique life is, and how lucky we all are to kind of be alive and to live this spiritual journey. And this is going to trigger something within you, and it's at the same time going to kind of be connected to kind of like the certain brilliant epiphanies you are going to have after that moment in time. You're going to have a certain brilliant epiphanies that are going to lead to magical opportunities, and that in itself is going to bring you amazing success later on. So it's all about the plans that are going to work rather perfectly, but also at the same time, my gorgeous Capricornians, you know, it's all about taking the next steps and continuing to move forward as well. You know, there's certain plans that are going to work out perfectly. This is another thing that I was going to say. There are going to be like a few kind of plans on your mind. You're going to find yourself in this mode to plan and things like that. So those plans are very sacred, they're very special, because they come with an element of like, oh, uncertainty, I'm not too sure, but they make you feel so excited, they make you feel so good. You know that this is the right thing to do, you know that this is what you should be doing. So why you're not doing it? You see, that's what I'm talking about. So it's about the plans that you will know, my God, but there's still going to be like a bit of like, I'm not too sure. So remember that the plans that are going to make you feel so good and passionate about yourself, at the same time, these plans in itself are going to work out perfectly indeed. Okay, so now the next sign is going to be my gorgeous Aquamarini. Is it? Yeah. This is so good. Just a second. Aquarius. Aquarius, when the moon is in the seventh house. When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide all the planets. And Aquamarini, Aquamarini, my gorgeous Aquamarini. I'm so sorry about my singing, but I cannot possibly help myself. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you know what I was going to say? Where did you go? It is like a basically oh dear Lord, you know, there is something that when it comes to your emotions, and when it comes to somebody very close to you, and when it comes to somebody who is like not who they claim that they are, but you kind of know this, but at the same time you don't want to be honest with yourself, but you must be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, because until you're honest with yourself, you're never going to learn, you're never going to move on with your life. There is someone that is really slowing you down big time. There is someone that is really slowing you down full on, and that person is around you, and it is not a very good person. I'm really sorry, but I will be as blunt as I possibly can. That person not necessarily, sorry, I will say this again, not necessarily really bad person, not that person that I'm talking about is not necessarily horrible person, not necessarily evil person, but there is something that they are doing and they can't help themselves, and what they can't help themselves, it's taking their energy away, it's affecting them in the worst possible way, because it's to do with, on one hand, being very stubborn, on another hand, being set in old ways, but then again, it's also to do with certain addictions that are causing this person to be the way they are. I'm sorry, but I can only tell you what I see. So there is someone around you that it's maybe, you know, on one hand, you know who they are, you know what they do, they're doing something naughty every now and then, but then at the same time, this person is also, as I said, it's not necessarily horrible and evil person, but there are certain secrets that that person has that you don't know about. There is, from the beginning, since you know this person, there have been the certain secrets that haven't been revealed to you. There is a specific part of that person, like very strong part of that person, that is just taking over their literal personality in terms of dishonesty. So I suppose what you would find out about this person, like, I think that almost immediately it would make you to kind of remove yourself from that. What I find really fascinating here, but in a really negative way, like kind of, I'm sorry, I'll carry on, but I need to say this. It's just that the fact that, you know, it's just like, it's that person is so strong, and you like someone who is so strong, but then again, on another hand, you just kind of know at the same time, but you're not honest with yourself, that this person, there is no kind of like a future in a way in between you and that person, but you know, it's just something down to you. It's like almost as if, you know, this happens to every single one of us almost like at a certain point in our lives, but it's down to you when you're gonna come out of yourself, be honest with yourself and snap out of it, because it's almost like you're under some kind of a spell that somebody just kind of took over your life with just themselves, you know, basically, in the way they are, but it is just something very destructive going on there, and that destructiveness, it is just going to really start to make a very negative impact on your life if you don't pay attention to this. Why am I talking about this person for so long? Well, because this week you are gonna hear something that it's going to be connected to that person, and then it's just going to be pretty much so along the lines that I've already said, and it's like, you know, your friend, somebody very close to you, somebody very important to you, somebody who means to you so much, like one of the best friends of certain family member, is just going to confirm this to you, and they're going to tell you this, like, not directly, but you will know what they think, you will know who they're talking about, and it's going to be pinpointed to that person, and then because it's going to come from someone who's so close to you, so important to you, and they're gonna like kind of tell you something, but it's not going to be directly said to you, because they will not want to say directly to you, because they will not want to hurt you, because this other person is very close to you, you know. And that person who just kind of like made everything dark for you and messed it up for a long time. But this other person that I'm talking about, again, I'm going this person, other person, but this is because you're very social and you have lots of people in your life, and you're such a beautiful person, beautiful character, you're very charismatic, but you always have all these people around you. You attract people, you know, you attract people attract you, you know, it's like so this is why the people do have a very specific role in your life, my gorgeous aquamarines. So somebody who's like a great friend is basically going to highlight this person to you without saying it directly, because they will not want to kind of like make you worried, or they will not want to make you kind of like to think too much, or to be negative, you know, like, you know. So it's going to be said to you in a gentle way. What am I trying to say? So now, my gorgeous aquamarine, listen, let's leave a dark cloud aside. Bye! Bye, Dark Lala. Bye, Dark Lala. Bye, Dark Lala. Bye, Dark Lala. See you later. See you later. Bye. Yeah. So now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, let me tell you, like, what is gonna happen this month in general. In April, it's about to change your life. Yes, I'm talking about the whole month, but now I'm referring to this week in between the 18th and the 24th of April, because here there is going to be such a significant opportunity that you are going to become aware of. Like, very important opportunity. It's coming up for you at the beginning of Aquarius, Aquarius. At the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, very important opportunity. It's about to present itself. But you're gonna have to learn a bit more. You're gonna have to read a bit more. You will know what this is, because the desire to learn more, desire to read about a specific subject is going to be absolutely undeniable. And you will know that these are the spiritual steps that you're gonna need to do. You're gonna need to find yourself on in order to actually take the next steps, you know, in your life. This is gonna be an integral part of your spiritual journey, because it's going to bring you an incredible accomplishment when it comes to your finances. But at the same time, it is also going to help you to continue to move forward in your life, because by the time you get to the midweek, you know, you will know and you will become aware of the actual very important conclusion that is going to happen to you after that moment. And that conclusion is also going to be connected to an important compromise. An important compromise that you're going to need to have. It's going to come from someone very powerful, someone very direct, you know, somebody who is speaking very directly, and somebody who's very kind of powerful, passionate, strong, unusual in so many different ways, very successful when it comes to career, when it comes to making money, but very also kind of powerful when it comes to their own spirituality. This is an important person here that is going to be the part of this. That person is going to play a giant role, because they're going to tell you the specific thing that you didn't know. And what you're gonna find out, it's gonna be brilliant, because at the same time, you know, it's like going to help you to develop your intuitive gifts even more, and it's like kind of like gonna help you out to trust the wisdom that you're gonna receive after that moment in time. Because what this person is gonna tell you, it's going to really make you aware of the different ways of like kind of doing things without these things being too obvious, but they're the part of this, like what you are doing right now. But what you're doing right now, you want to do it like kind of secretly and quietly, and then later you want to kind of come out with this when the time is right. This is absolutely fine. This is probably one of the best ways to actually do this, because you a lot preserve your own energy. Because sometimes people start certain things in certain projects and they just go out straight away. Well, you feel like that's the right thing to do, just go for it. But I do think that it's very important to kind of like keep going. The silence is a big mama. The silence is a big mama, because the more you do things in a silence, sometimes the more you grow. The more you do things in the silence, you know, there is so much that you learn throughout that process, because you're doing things by yourself, on your own terms, in your own ways, without the influence and impact from the outside world. So this is what I'm talking about, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, and this is why this is going to be so important indeed. So it's just all about you kind of like a really keeping going, but at the same time, you know, it's that compromise that is going to come through somebody very powerful, somebody very kind of like a prominent person in your life. It's like a very much so like a family member, a strong family member, or somebody who's like of an amazing importance. But just remember that this person is really powerful when it comes to like their spirituality, and also when it comes to like doing things right. You know, this person is like a very, very old spirit, like an old, ridiculously old spirit, very powerful person. So you will know who am I talking about. There is no absolutely doubt about that whatsoever. And what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Aquamarine, is, you know, it's just basically just pay attention to like the actual, my God. And also, this is what something I wanted to say. that this week you're going to have like a really big clarity, and the clarity that you are going to have before the end of this week, it's going to help you so much in order to make a choice with the part of your life that you were just keeping over analyzing. So now that drains energy and it's coming slowly to an end. And what else I was going to say, my gorgeous aquamarine, is that it is not the week for actions. This week is not a week for action, but it's the golden week to plan. It's the golden week to think. It's the golden week to really think about what you're going to do for the next step. Not plan for action as such, but it's to resolve so much. But on another hand, what else I was going to say, my gorgeous aquamarini, is that basically there is some mind-blowing wisdom that is going to come to you, that you're going to receive, that you're going to have. And this mind-blowing wisdom is going to come to you either as soon as you wake up in the morning. Just pay attention throughout the whole week from the 18th until the 24th of April. As soon as you wake up in the morning, every single morning, there is some kind of mind-blowing wisdom going to be on your mind. Pay attention to it. Do it, throw yourself into that part of your life. This is important, okay? And also, maybe you will be remembering your dreams. Also, pay attention to what you remember. How do you remember them suddenly? And also, pay attention to my gorgeous aquamarine. It's every single time when you're relaxing, chilling out. Okay, also pay attention to when you start drifting into that different world, when you were in between the reality and our subconscious mind. This is a very powerful state. There is a lot that is going to come to you. Or if you are just simply meditating and relaxing, there are so many ideas that are going to come to you as soon as you reach that a really wonderful and sacred balance, that respond to you in this particular way. Something really remarkable is going to come to you, something so mind-blowing, it's going to come to you, and it's going to make you realize that you shouldn't really worry as much as you worry about the specific part of your life. And this wisdom is going to reveal everything. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Pisces. I'm going to be 1 second. Oh Lord. So now it's my gorgeous Pisces. Pisces, 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 my gorgeous Pisces, I do apologize for my own craziness, but I cannot help whatsoever. My gorgeous Pisces, where are you? Please try to remember that you are, you are just behind the corner from something so big. You're just behind the corner from something so important. You are just behind the corner from something so amazing. Oh my God, my gorgeous Pisces, I need you to remember that you are just behind the corner from something so important which is going to happen in your life, and that in itself is going to consist of you this week. Oh my God, first of all, you're going to pay attention to the inspiration, pay attention to what is going to inspire you this week, pay attention to how incredible you're going to feel, pay attention to how vibrant you're going to feel, pay attention how amazing you're going to feel. Pay attention how different you're going to feel. And at that moment in time, something is going to happen. At that moment in time, you're going to really kind of almost immediately be aware of that there is something so big like going to happen to you. But you're going to feel this for the first time in a long time. And that in itself is going to play an integral part of you reconnecting with yourself, but also at the same time not ignoring the need to explore the specific part of your life in terms of learning about something very specific about a certain subject or a certain career. But even more so, just to remember at the same time that the direct communication is a big mama. The direct communication is so important, which means anything that happens to you this week, anything that goes on this week for you, my gorgeous Pisces, the direct response needs to happen from you. Try not to go for advice. Try not to talk to like people. Try not to kind of like try not to overanalyze things. Just do things that are right for you, and you're not going to go wrong. It's time for direct communication. It's time to put your foot down. It's time to put your point across, and it's time to also talk and communicate as much as you can. The more you allow yourself to talk and communicate, the more you express yourself, the more powerful this week is going to be, because you are going to find yourself on a very interesting stage. It's not only about the desire to learn things, but it's also about the actual, you will feel like now you want to explore the specific part of your life, but it's going to start with like desire to learn things, and this is what you're going to do. So by the time you get to the midweek or the end of that week, it's all about you taking this on the next level, taking this on the next stage while you're already like learning about it, reading about it, thinking about it. It's creating the same like energy of like kind of knowing a lot about the future ahead that you weren't kind of knowing before. And even if you don't know the specific bits and pieces, it doesn't really matter. It's all about the vibrant energy that you should be following at this moment in time, because it's all about you paying attention to the what you need to explore in terms of learning. But at the same time, this at around the midweek towards the end of the week, it's going to in turn towards you having very interesting prospect, but now and realizing so many possibilities, like, oh my lord, so many changes are gonna come with it, like a big mama, like brilliant. But at the same time realizing that it's something to do with you, like kind of being brave and open-minded and understanding and realizing that sometimes in this life, if we don't learn if we don't jump in the water, we're gonna never learn how to swim. So now in this life, this is the time for you to jump into the water, which means that you're going to be facing the part of your life that you don't have necessarily experience about, but the energy is going to be undeniable in terms of, again, exploration. Just remember, to start with, it was explore in the learning way. So now this is already by the end of the week going to in turn towards you going on the next stage, baby, and wanting to explore this specific path. Okay, very important indeed. You will want to explore this specific path, and now it's also going to you're going to become aware of like an unlimited opportunities around it, which is absolutely mind-blowing in so many different ways. You follow your optimism, you follow your passion, and you will most simply know what to do. I know that there are going to be like a parts of you that are going to be like, oh my God, I'm not too sure. No, baby, no, open yourself up. Flow with this wonderful energy. See what is there to explore. And if there are parts of you that are telling you, oh, that's not the right time, just ignore them, because what is going to be on your path in terms of like blockages or negativities, or I'm not too sure, you're gonna be absolutely fine. You're gonna go through the challenges that you're gonna come across. You're gonna go easily through the challenges that are gonna kind of start taking your affecting your energy in terms of like your own focus. So just remember that you're going to do absolutely great, and this is the beginning of a new success, new stage, new opportunity which is about to change your life. By the end of the week, you are going to have ridiculously powerful, important clarity. An important clarity by the end of the week is going to come through. It's going to come forward, and this in itself is going to help you to make a choice okay? And that in itself, it's also on another hand going to come from the fact that you're actually going to stop over analyzing. Just remember what I said to you before, stop over analyzing, and that in itself is going to in turn in your own power and to make a choice through an important clarity that you are going to have, because this clarity is going to be connected to what you desire and you moving forward with your life. Very important, my gorgeous Piscelinis, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous peopleini. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.